Well, hey everybody, Tom Miller here. Happy Friday to you. It's Friday the 13th, actually, I just realized, and I hope you had a fantastic day. And I'm wondering how well you did from yesterday's lesson. Did you take those 5 minutes? Did you take those 5 minutes and just reflect? Did you ask those three questions at the end of the day? What went well, right? What went wrong? What can I do to get better? Well, I had talked about yesterday in yesterday's episode about how I was going to share one more secret to ensure that you had those great reflection questions. And that is to make a stop doing list. Every day I want you to work on creating growing the right list, right? Most of us, our lists just grow and grow and grow. And I know sometimes when I sit and I'm working on, tasks, like my mind thinks of other things that I have to do, or if I dive into my email, I just keep on growing this list. It's called to do. It's a massive amount of things that I have to do, almost a full note page. And somehow mentally I expect to get done that all in one day. And that's just no way going to happen, right? So every day at the end of the day, I feel bad because I didn't cross everything off my list. And so, I've done some lesson on how to prioritize your time and how to do those things. But one thing that I'm just going to scream from the rooftops, every single day, you need to spend 5 minutes. What's one thing I did today that I won't do tomorrow, right? What's one thing that I did today that I will not do tomorrow? Now, and I know what you're saying, leaders, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. I have no one to delegate, work to, or there's no one on my team. And well, I'm an independent business owner. There's just me and one other person. We've got some virtual assistants, right? So I fall into that trap a lot. My team's very, very small. But every day, if I catch myself, working on something that I shouldn't be doing, maybe it's something technical, or writing a specific email, or setting up a webinar, or doing things on my webpage, that's not the best use of my time. Those aren't the things, if you've listened to my key to leadership prioritization, are not in my required list. Now, those are things that need to be done, but they're not required to be done by me. They're not required to be done by me. And as a leader, you need to identify each day, I got to take some things off my list, because busyness is the death of a leader. And being active doesn't necessarily mean that you're being productive. So there's certain things that you've done, right? It might be something you're doing, like right now I'm, raking the leaves in my yard. This is not something that I have to do. I could pay someone to do this, like my children or anybody in the neighborhood to do it, so I could have better use of my time. There was multiple things I did today. There was at one point I was, working on creating a Google Fusion map for one of the schools that I'm working with. I'm like, what, I could delegate this, this to somebody. I was working on creating surveys for another school. That's another thing that I could have done. So it really comes down to, at the end of the day, what am I not going to do next time, right? So now I have the list. I know exactly where to go. I've got the questions set up. So now I can easily empower someone else on my team the next time that we need a survey done. Hey, start here. Here's the directions. Here's a system to do that. Because when you stop doing things, you begin to create margins in your life. You begin to create white space in your day for you to think and be an effective leader. Because when you're not creating think time in between meetings, when you're moving from Zoom to Zoom, when you're running from, one classroom to the next, you have no time to process. And your brain was not built to be a desktop computer, right? Your mind is not built that way. Your mind doesn't function best that way. It functions best when it's calm and it's still. So yesterday I challenged you to spend 5 minutes quietly thinking. And today I'm asking you to spend 5 minutes writing anything down that you did today that you do not need to do tomorrow. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a task. It could be, I don't need to respond to certain emails. It could be that I don't need to one-up somebody on a conversation. It could be that I don't need to add any more value to this conversation, right? I don't need to try to better anybody's idea that they bring to the team, because ultimately I need to just stop. And as a leader, that's probably the most challenging part, is to just stop and let things be and allow your team to grow, coach them, equip them, but don't one-up them. They don't like that. So I'm going to talk more on that over the next week. But today's challenge is to spend 5 minutes writing down one thing that you're not going to do again. I might be writing down raking leaves. This might be the last time that I rake leaves, everybody. Raking leaves is not filling my heart, and it's not really getting me closer to my goal, so I don't need to necessarily do it anymore. I love being the technician on my website, but I don't need to be doing all those things. I love creating surveys and creating in general, but I don't need to be the technician to drop all those pieces in there. I could spend that time researching, right? Creating content, coaching, coaching my team. There's so many more things I could be doing. So that's what I challenge you today. Take 5 minutes at the end of the day to write down what's at least one thing that you did that you're not going to do tomorrow. And it could be something task oriented, or just maybe something with your own personality, one-upping people. So thanks, everybody. If you want to learn more about what we do, you can go to our website at lbleaders.com. Please, 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 if I said something you like, or you like this video, share it out. Share the ideas out. They're yours. Take them. Go teach someone else, how to do that once you're learning. Subscribe. Make sure you're subscribing, so every time we go live or drop in a podcast, you get notified. So again, thanks for what you do. I believe in you. Make sure you stay safe and take care of yourself and each other. Bye-bye, everybody.